Hello and welcome to my presentation. I am Niranjana Gunashekaran, and in this video I am going to talk about PowerShell. Before learning about PowerShell commands and scripting, let me talk about what is PowerShell. We all must have used command prompt at some point. PowerShell is like command prompt but much more powerful than that. But by powerful, I mean it lets more control over operating system. To give you a better understanding of PowerShell, let me define what a shell is. A shell is a user interface that acts as a bridge between you and your operating system. It accepts our commands and converts them into computer's binary language. Windows PowerShell is a shell developed by Microsoft for task automation and configuration management. This is based on .NET framework and it includes command line shell and scripting language. There is also Windows PowerShell ISE. The ISE stands for Integrated Scripting Environment, and it is a graphical user interface that allows you to easily create different scripts without having to type all the commands. Now that we know what is PowerShell, now let's see what can you do with PowerShell. It was designed as a tool to help us automate and quickly solve a lot of tedious administrative tasks. For example, PowerShell can be used to display all the USB devices installed on one or multiple computers, that is in a network. Or you can set a time-consuming task to run in the background while you do other works. PowerShell's capabilities allows you to simplify and automate tedious and repetitive tasks by creating scripts and combining multiple commands together. PowerShell is very useful for network administrating. It contains hundreds of customizable commands which are called commandlets. You can use these commandlets to perform multiple tasks. It is used by many IT administrators to simplify management operations and tedious effort in large corporate networks. For example, let's say you are managing a large network containing over 100 servers and you need to implement a new security solution that is dependent on certain service that has to run on these servers. Instead of logging in to each server and check if they have that service installed and running, which is a long time consuming process, you can use PowerShell to do this task in just few minutes. PowerShell will do this task in just one script that gathers information about the services running on those servers and put them in a text file. PowerShell command introduction. Learning PowerShell commands can be intimidating and may seem impossible, but PowerShell commands are something that you have to try and use it to get the hang of it. Kinda like trial and error method. Most commands in PowerShell are built in to manage elements of the operating system or applications such as services and processes. Windows PowerShell uses a verb-noun naming system where each commandlet is standardized with verb hyphenated with a specific noun. Nouns are less restricted, but they should always describe what a command acts upon. PowerShell has commands such as get process, stop process, get service, and stop service. In order to prevent unauthorized script execution, PowerShell has an implementation strategy. By default, the execution strategy is set to restriction. It has 4 execution policies: restricted, remote signed, all signed, and unrestricted. Restricted execution policy will prevent any scripts from running. Remote signed execution policy will allow you to run locally created scripts and the scripts from the internet that are really safe and trusted. All-sign execution policy will allow you to run scripts from the internet that are digitally signed by the publisher. Unrestricted execution policy will allow any scripts to run. Using this execution policy will remove all restrictions, but it is recommended not to use it as it might make system vulnerable to attacks. To know about the current execution policy, you can use the command get execution policy. To change your execution policy to some other execution policy, you can use the command set execution policy and mention what execution policy you want it to change. Now let's try some basic networking commands in PowerShell. IP configuration. This command has many options, but the most common usage is to show the IP address, subnet mask and default gateway for each network adapter in a machine. You can use the command get net IP configuration or get net IP address to get the list of all the IP configurations in a network. Ping. Ping is used to check connectivity to a specific host, commonly used to check for liveliness, but also used to measure network latency. You can use the command test net connection. It will show the connectivity status of your system and the mentioned host. NS lookup is mostly used to find IP address for a given DNS. You can use the command resolve DNS name and mention the DNS you want to resolve. It will show the IP address of the mentioned host. Route. Route is usually used to show the IP routes of a given system, but you can also use to add or delete routes. You can use the command get net route, also new net route or remove net route to add or remove a route. Tracet. It shows the IP route to the host, including all the hops between your computer and that host. You can use the command test net connection. It will show all the routes between you and the mentioned DNS. Netstat is used to show the total description of TCP IP connection in a system. You can use the command get net TCP connection to view all the current TCP connections in your system. That concludes my video. Thank you for watching.